This is the one you've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. It's the 2013 Mercedes G63 AMG. Mercedes have planted their new 5.5 litre V8 bi-turbo in this beast that propels itself from 0 to 60, wait for it, 5.5 seconds. Bearing in mind it weighs just under 3 tonnes. The G-Wagen, also known as the Geländewagen, was a suggestion put forward by Shah of Iran, which at the time was a grand shareholder in Mercedes-Benz. Later on, a civilian version of the car was offered in 1979. And here we go, guys. The design hasn't changed ever since then. So the main design of the car hasn't changed, but the Mercedes-Benz have made subtle changes to the G63. To start off with, we have the larger air vents. Obviously the new engine requires better cooling systems, and hence why Mercedes-Benz had to create bigger air vents. We've also got the day running LEDs, obviously brings in the 2013 modern day look to the car. In addition to that, we've also got the grille that's been changed. The previous grille had much more chrome in it and it didn't look as aggressive in my opinion. Mercedes-Benz have made a good subtle change there. In addition to that as well, this was an optional extra. Check this out, guys. we've got a little bit of a cage here to protect the headlights. Very off-roading, but even though the car will probably never go off-roading, I thought it was pretty cool to get that installed on the car. So Mercedes-Benz offer a range of alloy wheels. Here we have fitted the black option, which is finishing a beautiful satin black. Obviously I wanted the black on black look, which is a little bit more meaner. You can also get a diamond cut alloy wheel, which is like a very silvery, very sharpy looking silver wheel, and also looks very nice, but this was my option preference. You can also get a very standard alloy wheel, which it looks awful. It's a 5-spoke alloy wheel, a little bit smaller than this. It's normally used as the replacement wheel, but if you're not going to part with your money, that's what you're going to get. Mercedes-Benz have also got fantastic brakes on this G63 AMG. Obviously weighs just under 3 tonnes, does 0 to 60 in like I said 5.5 seconds, so stopping power has to be as good as pulling power. And here we see these brake discs. They're absolutely humongous, and you know, like I said, great stopping power, so well done there, Mercedes-Benz. So here we are at the engine bay. I thought I'd quickly show you these before we move on to the interior and the practicality sides of the Mercedes G-Wagen. This is the guzzler, the 5.5 litre V8 bi-turbo engine in all its glory, and here it is in front of you guys. Now, each engine is handcrafted by a technician at Mercedes-Benz. This one, Michael Klopfer, who's left his template here, which tells me that he's made the engine, so hats off to you there, Michael. We've got big intercoolers, obviously, to cool this beast and tame it down and keep everything running smooth. You know, it has a top speed of 130 miles per hour, and you know, I'm sure it probably could go quicker if the aerodynamics weren't as poor as they are, and it didn't weigh as much. So here we are, guys, the 5.5 litre V8 bi-turbo engine that probably at best does about 15 miles to the gallon. So here we are in the interior of the 2013 Mercedes G-Wagen. The biggest changes with this G-Wagen have been the updated interior. Mercedes, you know, previously in their older G-Wagons, it was very dated. The 2011 G-Wagen, if you ever sat in that car or had a look at the interior, you would feel as if you're in a 2003, 2004 car. And Mercedes really needed to up their game, and I think they have. The interior on this is fantastic now, much more modern. The design is excellent. You know, not too much going on, and very open, but very smart at the same time, and I love it. I finished this car off with a black interior, so the option was to choose a black leather. The very leather here chosen in this car was a Designio option, which is a little bit more, but obviously adds that little bit of touch of class to it. I've got the Alcantara roof lining, which gives it a bit more of a luxurious feel. We finished it off with the piano wood, which is brilliant. I love it. It gives it a bit more of a classy look to it as well. In addition to that, we have the user interface here, which is you know, like a little mini iPad, if you'd like. It's got everything in it that you'd want. It's got the sat nav, you know, your telephone preparation, your media system, you know, your internet browsing if you want to contact Mercedes-Benz for whatever reason, your video and all sorts of stuff. You know, it's got all the gadgets. It's all very good. Also, practicality wise, we've got a small compartment here which the iPod connects into, the auxiliary, so you can listen to all your tunes. We've got a very nice touch here that Mercedes-Benz have incorporated. It's like a stamp of the AMG logo, which is very nice. And obviously the changed you know, transmission, you know, which is a bit more like the SLS and the other Mercedes AMG versions. Glove box. There's not much that you can probably fit in there. Probably you know, a box of tissues or something, and that's about it. Also, we've got the SD card, so which slots in there as well. And now I'm going to move on to a few of the little features. Before we do that, we just need to fire up the car. So before we do fire it up, the dials have to calibrate themselves. There we go, and voila, fire up that beast. So what we have here is an economy button. Believe it or not, the Mercedes G-Wagen has an economy button. The best you'll probably get out of it, like I said, is probably 50 miles per gallon. It's absolutely awful on fuel. It's terrible. Mercedes-Benz have thought it all through. We've also got the option to heat your seats by a press of a button. So the red ones here, the red dials here, they heat the seats, and you can change the settings to how intense you want the heat. We've also got the cooling system, so you can also cool it. So that's the heating, and if it's on a hot day, you can cool your seats as well. In addition to that, you've got your traction control button. You know, that doesn't do very much, in all honesty, probably more for your off-roading side of things. You've got your heater controls here, so you know, you can change up and down how fast you want the fan to be, and you know, how hot you want it to be. So that's all here as well. In terms of putting your car into drive, it's about slotting, you know, putting your foot on the brake, pulling it towards you, and there we go, it's in drive. Tapping it up once and it goes into neutral, and there we go, into reverse. And once it does go into reverse, we have the you know, the reversing camera, which is an option as well, which is very handy as well to maneuver such a big car. So we also have the cruise control buttons just here as well, and the little flappy panels behind the steering wheel just here, which is also very handy when you want to change gears in manual mode. You've got 3 modes on the car, which go on to comfort, which is on at the moment. You've got sport, if you press it once, and you can see it changing on the dials just up here, so that's in sport at the moment. You can also change it to manual, which allows you to drive the car and choose when you want to change gears, and also back there we are in comfort mode. Normally I choose the comfort mode. It's the best configured transmission, you know, change the gears at the right time and whatnot, so it's all very brilliant there. So there we are in the driver's side of things, and you know, from the passenger side of things, and we're just going to move on to the rear of the car now. So here we go, guys. So here we are in the back of the G-Wagen. Not much going on in the back of this. What we've got, I'm just going to talk you through a few of the things in the back of this. Is we've got the television screens that is an optional extra fitted on the G-Wagen. Keeps the kids busy on a long journey, and you know, keeps them occupied. You just slot your SD card in, or you can wire it up to whatever media interface you have, and you can watch a couple of DVDs and movies and whatever else, you know. We've also got you know, just a 12V socket, which very handy to charge your phone and whatnot, and you know, very comfortable seats, not too bad. In terms of legroom, the seat in the front is configured to someone that's as tall as me, 6'3", and you know, I've got probably about 3 inches in legroom, which you know, doesn't seem too bad. You know, it does the job, and it's all good. I mean, not the best of legrooms in the back, but you know what, seeing as someone 6'3" in front is driving, what more do you expect in the back? So yeah, like I said, there's not much going on other than you've got your you know, you've got your TV screens, and that's about it, guys. So that's the back of the Mercedes G-Wagen. So I thought I'd just quickly show you the back of the G-Wagen as well, the boot and various other little bits and bobs as well. We've got the spare tyre here, which is covered in a beautiful casing, which, you know, sets it all off very nicely. You've got the chrome Mercedes badge as well here, so we've got the AMG emblems and also the same lights that are used in the old G-Wagen, so everything's very similar here as well. So I'm just going to quickly show you inside the boot. Lots of space in the boot. I mean, a great shopping car. So if your wife's ever complaining that she can't get all the shopping in her car, this is what you need to get. The G-Wagen. You can also get a G350 version as well, which is the diesel version. Very boring. That's not the one that you want to go for. You'd rather spend the £25,000–30,000 extra, and, you know, just hold it out and, you know, buy the real deal, and you'll enjoy it yourself as well as the missus as well. So here it is, guys. The boot, fit a lot in there. Go to B&Q, go wherever you want. Throw everything in there, and it's just a very good practical boot. You know, it's just brilliant. In terms of closing the door, just like, a lot of effort, very heavy door, probably because of the tyre and the alloy wheel saver. So yeah, there it is, guys, the Mercedes G-Wagen, the boot and the rear of the car. So there we have it, guys, the 2013 Mercedes G63 AMG. Yes, it's my favourite SUV out of the lot, and my favourite car in general. It's I know it's priced at £130,000, and it's a lot of money for a 4x4, but it really does not fail to excite you. That 5.5 litre roaring down them streets, and people turning around and looking, thinking, what the hell was that just went past? And it really does put a smile on their face. And, you know, it's a brilliant car. It's my favourite, and just in general, I've loved it ever since taking delivery of it in March of 2013. Mercedes-Benz have done a brilliant job with the G63 AMG, and I cannot stress how much I love this car. Just recently, though, I've taken delivery of another AMG model. I am Team AMG, and I thought that, you know, the G-Wagen needed a partner, so why not? Here it is, guys, the Mercedes SLS AMG, and that's next.